Just 2 weeks ago, Google, Facebook, and Twitter executives were before the House Intelligence Committee, and they bragged to that committee that they'd been censoring InfoWars for fake news at lunch on that Friday. We've played that video many times. I'm going to play it again for you. What was the fake news? That a big New York imam had warned the mayor of impending ISIS truck attacks, which ISIS had said they were going to launch on their official website and official videos. This was like saying we were fake news for saying the sky was blue. But they were there in front of Congress admitting that they'd censored us when Paul Watson's article was #1 on the internet. That means your choice to read it, your choice to share it, your choice to trust it was fake. You were wrong. You were a crock of crap. There wasn't an Islamic attack 2 weeks ago in New York. Why? Congressman Quigley of Illinois says so. And the head of Twitter, the head of Google, the head of Facebook, the head of operations, all were there saying, sir, we saw it. We took care of it at lunch. And Congressman Quigley said, do a better job next time. They said, sir, we got artificially intelligent systems ready to launch in the next month that are going to block them in real time, sir. Now think of how epic that is. We're winning against globalism. We're winning against a lot of the forms of radical Islam they're funding. We're winning on a lot of fronts to try to restart the economy. But folks, you've got to understand this is how they're striking back. And then, here's the big news. This is why on Saturday night at 10:07, I called Harrison, one of our great camera guys, to bring his iPhone over here at my house to come back here in my office and off my bedroom while my wife's, out there just saying about a dinner guest to cover what we're about to break down. Because every couple hours I search engine Infowars.com, I search engine Alex Jones to see what our reporters are doing out in the press. There were big Antifa demonstrations across the country. Epic stuff happened today. We've got big viral videos on Infowars.com. So I hadn't searched in about 2 hours. I searched it 35 minutes ago is when I searched it and saw it and began looking at it. And they implemented it on a Saturday night. Just 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, this was not there. I typed in Alex Jones because, again, that's what then will have all my other reporters' news. It's always say Alex Jones's reporter or Alex Jones's writers. That's how you search keyword or Infowars. So I was searching it, and there it was on Google's main page, Google everything. It was the top deal. It said, this is what analysts say about this. This is what third parties say. This is whether this is real news or not. And it was Snopes, and it was PolitiFact, and it was environmental groups funded by Al Gore. And they were saying, I'm a fraud, I'm a liar, I'm not real. And now other people's sites, they're not even letting you see them. They're just putting up their links above it. That's what George Soros a year ago in the WikiLeaks, or over a year ago now, said under the UN takeover of the internet that happened last year, that he would place his stuff over and that they would send people to Snopes. And that's who he financed. Snopes is like one guy and his cat now because he broke up with his wife. And the point is they don't even show their facts or their evidence. They just say Snopes or PolitiFact says. PolitiFact said that there was a 97% chance Hillary would win. So did the New York Times. PolitiFact said 14 agencies unanimously said Trump had the election stolen by the Russians. They now all admit that was a fraud. And in the same hearing, they said, we're going to have fact-checking groups running AI computers, and they'll decide what's real or not. And the congressman goes, this attack was Islamic. And then there was an imam warning. This is weaponized. You're the ones that are weaponized, censoring InfoWars. This is very dangerous. So again, we're just the figurehead of the people. They see us as you, because we are basically John Q. Americana that isn't backing down. And despite them trying to suppress us and block us, it's caused a Streisand effect. But we can see them blocking us on Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, admittedly doing it. We'll have a video with 3 million views in one day, never makes the front page. We have YouTube executives Veritas got it on tape admitting they block us where we're really number one. For me, this isn't a pissing contest. It's not about being number one. It's about America and Europe. Remember a year ago, Zuckerberg got caught on a hot mic with Merkel saying, don't worry, I'm going to censor folks that are against the Islamic invasion. It's here. I mean, I put out photos and videos from Discovery Channel, clips of the Imam of Jerusalem. This was on Discovery Channel, History Channel like 10 years ago, being pro-Hitler. I mean, everybody knows that, and that most of the Muslims are pro-Hitler. They block our site saying we're pro-Hitler, showing somebody else's YouTube clip from History Channel 10 years ago with the Imam being a Nazi. I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark's fiction, but it's about, how the Muslims were pro-Hitler. I mean, that's a historic fact. Are you going to ban that movie? We had Red Pill Black on, Candace Owens, Friday. She put out a link to the New York Times saying, can black people let their kids play with white people? And the article says, no, whites are inherently bad. She says, this is racist and wrong. She's a black lady. They banned her on Facebook and on Twitter. But on Facebook, they sent her the art. We actually showed it. You say it's wrong to say white people are inherently evil. You're banned. So you want to know how they're going to strike back to America and the world waking up? This is how they're doing it. So while a lot of you think we've won with Trump and all this stuff, Trump needs to hit them with antitrust now. Facebook, Twitter, Google subsidiaries, because they're just getting away with bloody frickin' murder and running monopolies and just doing it. So let me give you some brief history. Then I'll show you live time on a desktop. On my phone, it's even worse. The top thing is Snopes and PolitiFact saying I'm a liar. I mean, they've got environmentalist groups saying we're liars, saying that climate change doesn't exist. Of course climate change exists. But it's not man-made, and paying them carbon taxes doesn't help them. So they misrepresent what we say, then they say we're frauds, and that's the first step they admit to totally banning us. And folks, if they can ban us, they can ban you. So here we go. Breaking. Now remember this back in April. I'm just showing you some of the stuff so you know the facts. Google admits to censoring InfoWars, claims it will stop First Amendment victory after search engine exposed. Mike Cernovich got this, and they admitted, okay, those are real documents you've got. And it says, Jones is fake. He had Ron Paul on and claimed that the Syrian rebels had launched the chemical attack. And it was meant to look authoritative, but it wasn't. We went back to the actual video. It was the UN, the U.S. government, CENTCOM, Ron Paul. The rebels screamed Allah Akbar and launched the chemical weapons from mortars. They banned the story and blocked it. And they use it as an example to have people go manipulate their algorithm, millions of dollars, to just delist us from the top ratings in all our news. Doesn't matter we have a scientist on or the actual insert for a vaccine from the company saying it caused brain damage. They'll just delist us and put a fake news story saying, no adverse reactions from Gardasil. Don't believe Alex, he's a liar. That's targeting you, folks. So there was that article. And then it goes through how they want to ban us, how they want to shut us down. It's all right there. So there's that story. Now, here's one from just a week ago. Bombshell. Twitter, Google admit deliberately censoring InfoWars. Fake news being used as weapon term to bury opposing viewpoints. And it's got the congressional hearing I told you about. And then it's got their examples of how they want to ban Paul Watson. They really are scared of him. Because, again, Paul Watson dared report that a Muslim ran over people with a truck. They say that is fake. They actually say it is fake. Okay. I mean, folks, if you're going to put up with this, you have no freedom. Now, here I am last year warning you, because Obama signed an executive order putting the CIA over this new bureau that's supposed to censor us and come up with a plan in live time to block us. The point is they've done it. Congress admits CIA moving to ban free speech in America. It is now alarmingly evident that there truly is a war on for your mind. And then I show all the government documents, the executive order, and the admission in this video. I'm just giving you some background. Now, boom. On a phone, if you go there, you will see right up at the top this. But on a desktop, Look at this. It says writes about. Okay? Tells you what we write about. Then you click this and it'll tell you what they say. Now, you understand the amount of work? Because I spent like an hour going through these. I mean, it's like everything. And again, they misrepresent what we say and then have a conclusion of false, 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 false. And then they don't tell you who is Snopes, who is PolitiFact, who is this UN environmental group that's saying all this. And there's 8 groups I've seen so far that they admit are getting Soros and CIA money. This is all in a bill, the Defense Authorization Act 2017, that Obama signed before he left with billions of dollars to shut us and everybody else down. And then, God, who are these huge office buildings filled with people? They're typing in war rooms that we're fake news. Then they've got shows like Homeland where it's supposedly me and I've got big war rooms with fake news. I got one guy here, folks. He's doing a great job, by the way, but we don't have any big war rooms here. Let me close that door when my children opened it. But just show that right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is the real deal. So, this is a third-party supposed group through Google that has a monopoly. And they announced they would do this, coming in, and then when you go to the other links to my articles, they now place this in the browser over it, saying it's false, including articles written today. Do you realize they've either got AI doing this, because a lot of it doesn't make sense, or it's people. But look, no news coverage, no announcements, regardless of what you think about me. How big a story is it that they've now superimposed fact-checking in real time on millions of articles a day? Because I looked at CNN, I looked at Fox, but I noticed, guess who they're not fact-checking? Things like Voice of America, which is CIA, which actually has a lot of accurate reporting. Because the whole government's not bad. There's a globalist faction. The point is, this is going to take a lot of study. 4chan, the HUMAT, the Human Intelligence, the Autistic Army. We've all got to burrow into this. Let's continue. So again, Snopes. Their main thing is Snopes. And it just sits here and attacks us. PolitiFact, Snopes. And it goes on and on. PolitiFact, Snopes. Writes about. And then so you can't understand what it's saying. It says fake news in one part. This is fake news. They just tell you this is fake news. Man yells CNN is fake news. Photo of police beating Catalonians fake, says Spanish foreign minister. And you're like, what does that mean? Does it mean it's fake news or we're reporting on fake news? See, who's deciding all this? Where's the transparency here? I mean, there's so much wrong with this, folks. Now you're thinking, okay, let's show me other sites. Okay, let's do it. And again, they just force feed all this disinfo. If you search videos too, it's all the negative stuff on top. You search Paul Watson's name, it's a Salon article with no readers, no viewers. That's at top. It's Google admits they fix things for Hillary, fix the search, cover up. This is industrial now with U.S. government funding, NSA, CIA. Okay. Look at this, CNN. You come over here. Oh, writes about climate scientists say that aspects of a case of Hurricane Harvey suggest global warming. Oh, it's correct, mostly correct, says climate feedback, some leftist UN Soros group. Look them up. Oh, George Soros and the UN, they're getting set to be paid trillions in carbon tax money. They say CNN, surprise, surprise. Mostly true, according to climate feedback. Oh, and there's Snopes right here. Oh, there's Snopes and PolitiFact. Oh, PolitiFact. Oh, CBS News tells you what's really going on with NASA. Snopes, PolitiFact. Snopes, like they're God. Like we elected them king, like Mueller. Doesn't matter who you elect president. Why, Mueller's here. And saying, oh, we have Snopes. We have Snopes. So this is such a big deal. And yes, thousands of prominent conservatives, libertarians, Christians, people that actually just show clips of imams saying we're going to take over the West, we're going to do this to you, they get banned but they leave the imams on because they don't want you to say no to it. The good news is you've broken their conditioning. I've broken their conditioning, and there are a lot of cowards that want to play it safe and go along with this because they don't want to be censored or blocked. This is the great animating contest of liberty. I know I'm right because I am being censored. They're not having congressional hearings because we're liars and dangerous. It's because we tell the truth and have been right so many times about Hillary being sick or Hillary stealing the nomination or just on and on and on, or fluoride being bad for you, or Trump's going to win, or world government. I mean, come on, man. We're winning. So we never put this on YouTube or Facebook ourselves. It was a promo that played live on my radio and TV show. And I just think it's prophetic that it's some listener that did with 9 views. Because our average video gets about 300,000 views. We have many with up to 50 million views, billions of views online. But this prophetic warning, November 2017, I searched for a long time. Like, where do we post this key video when I warned people 2 weeks ago of how this was coming? And I'm not mad at my crew or even myself. We're just so used to being attacked that we don't even, we put a video out on the show, we don't even post it to Facebook or YouTube. Like, it doesn't even matter. And I get how we don't take ourselves we take ourselves seriously, but we're so busy working, we take ourselves for granted. And you do too. You take your rights for granted, and you're losing them right now. We're all losing them right now. This is a very serious time to be alive, folks. I mean, this is so draconian, so serious. So watch some of these clips of Veritas exposing how they're saying number one enemy shut down InfoWars just a month ago. 2 weeks ago, Congress saying shut him down, he's fake news. Another congressman goes, well, you're just saying this is fake news. That's your opinion. Because that famous imam has even confronted de Blasio at city council about this. I mean, everybody knows about this imam, and Fox News has covered it. So the congressman's going, wait a minute, you're saying it's fake news that a truck ran over people and that an imam warned people? See? Or they misrepresent and go, Jones says that there's humans living on Mars as slaves. There's no video, there's no audio. I never said it. They just lie. They just lie. Because they know I read the bills. I have the experts on. And I have the sources, and they're scared of that. So let me play you this video that's very powerful, that breaks it all down. That these you got to everybody, because this is just from a week and a half ago, and it covers it all. And, if you don't get it out, nobody will. And this is your freedom under attack.
We confirm suspicions at Veritas. It's not a shock to you, but to get the employee at YouTube on tape admitting that they do it? I mean, you must be a threat if they call you out by name.
It's also what happens when you listen to the radio host, Alex Jones.
As of just a short time ago, and I'm talking about when this meeting started, on Twitter, if you clicked on the hashtag NYC terrorist attack, which is, quote, trending, marked with a red button saying, quote, live, the top tweet links to an InfoWars story with the headline, Imam, I warned de Blasio about New York City terror. He was too busy bashing Trump.
I don't know what happens in somebody's mind or how dark their heart must be to say things like that.
This is a real-time example of when we talk about this information being weaponized.
But Trump doesn't challenge these lies. He actually went on Jones's show and said,
your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope.
He still calls Alex Jones and talks to him, and the InfoWars
conspiracy
theories.
How quickly can you act, and what's your responsibility to set the record straight so that the people who saw this know that it's fake news, and at least at some point in time it can't keep spreading like some sort of virus through the legitimate world.
That's something we're thinking about all the time, because it's a bad user experience, and we don't want to be known as a platform for that.
the Russians ran an extensive information war campaign against my campaign to influence voters in the election. They did it through false news sites. They did it through these 1,000 agents. They did it through machine learning, which kept spewing out this stuff over and over again. And they began to have some of their allies within the internet world, like InfoWars, take out pieces and begin to say the most outrageous, outlandish, absurd lies you can imagine.
Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign by changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to website InfoWars.
You have RT, you have Sputnik, you have Rupley, and then I think you have them feeding other entities. InfoWars comes to mind, where those are echo chambers.
It's been widely reported that that company's been backed by the Kremlin, and they gave you 75,000 shares that you had to disclose when you went into the Obama administration.
Maybe you're looking at widely reported information from...
By the way, it's all come out and been confirmed true now. We did break it.
Wars.
No, I'm not.
But it is not true.
This is Politico. This is the New York Times. This is the Wall Street Journal.
No, it's not.
If a Google user types in Clinton body, they get car repair shop results instead of a story that talks about a list of people tied to the Clintons who have died under mysterious circumstances over the last 3 decades. Now, the latest story was the death of DNC staffer Seth Rich, who was murdered last month in an apparent robbery. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has hinted that Rich was his source, but has made no further comments about the case. That murder, we should say, remains unsolved.
The Russians, in my opinion, and based on the intel and counter-intel people I've talked to, could not have known how best to weaponize that information unless they had been guided.
All that stuff exists. You don't see it, you don't feel it if you're largely living in reality and in a mainstream media world. But it's undermining our democracy, and I think that the companies themselves, they've taken some steps. They have a lot of responsibility.
Companies like Facebook.
Hear that? Taking steps. They're taking steps to censor everyone and shut them down for Mr. Podesta. And look at the arrogance of these two men.
Companies like Facebook, Google, etc.
Right.
To do what they can to essentially not enhance this.
How quickly can you act, and what's your responsibility to set the record straight?
The system self-corrected. That shouldn't be the first tweet you see anymore. It should be a USA article the last time I checked.
But you saw this.
USA Today.
Folks, that's Congress saying InfoWars was the #1 story, saying a Muslim ran over folks, and they don't like that. So they just said, don't worry, it's not. You understand how much danger we're all in? Because it's one thing to take the country back partially, but then not realize we just picked a fight. I mean, the real fight's now. And listen, if you don't want to fully commit to it, that's fine, but realize they're working around the clock to frustrate your speech, your views, your ideas. We're #1 over and over again. You're #1. And we've seen them crank us down just absolutely like that. But then all this weird stuff happens where you spread by word of mouth, so then it goes all these different directions, and it's bigger than ever. And I've risked my life doing this, not because I'm a perfect person, but because I know these are bad people. I'm not bitching when I say, hey, we're in a war. I'm saying realize every day it's going on. And these people think they're going to beat you, and they're better than you, and they're not. They're a bunch of assholes who sit up there on C-SPAN and admit they're censoring us in live time, and they want to censor you. And they're kicking thousands of Twitter and Facebook users off every day. Some sites have millions and millions of fans for nothing because they're popular. And a lot of big liberals that weren't part of the system that had billions of views on YouTube, they're being taken down. People say, why'd you do that to me? I've seen a few of these guys even attack me the last 6 months thinking that would get them favor on YouTube and Facebook. They banned them anyways. Dumbasses, they don't like you because you're popular. You could be saying the opposite of what I say. You think you're some liberal Democrat, Hillary, and they like you? They hate your ass if you're really popular with the people. Figured that out yet? They don't like something that's real. Because something that really touches people awakens them. Even if I don't agree with it, if I see something getting attacked by the enemy, I go, why is that? I go, oh, I see, because in the larger calculus, it ends up hurting them. Because they're not looking for a good outcome. They're looking for power. So they see a good person opposing them as bad, But they see you trying to play their game better than them. I'm giving you the big secrets here. Because, see, I don't play games. I hit it hard, dead on, real, what my spirit tells me to do, what the facts show, and that's it. There's no Machiavelli. But it doesn't mean I don't tell you how Machiavellian stuff works. You wonder why you're PewDiePie or somebody with 18, 19 billion views and why they're trying to shut you down? It's because you're better than they are. All of mainstream television combined doesn't have that. They're scared of you. There's DeFranco and all these other sites that have billions of views. They started bashing me 6 months ago. I knew what it was. They had executives tell them do it and maybe they'd be left alone. And then they're still burning them. You think weasels like this like it that you've got billions of views? That guy couldn't get anybody to watch him. They don't like you because you're successful and because you're a winner. Stop kissing their ass. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Financially running InfoWars and having all these great crew members and paying people and doing all this is a big nut to crack. And I need to expand it if it's not going to implode. Things don't just stay the same. They contract or they expand like economies. So I'm always trying to figure out how to fund people and expand. But man, I got a ranch in East Texas we've had since 1829. We bought from the Mexicans. I don't need money. I don't give a damn about it. To me, it's like fuel in my gas tank. And all the stuff they're doing to me, cutting out the sponsors and shutting us off shopping carts and banning us from Google ads and all of it, all that's been like slaps in the face. You know, drive your motorcycle through gnats or something. But if you don't have the hunger to kick their ass, why should I? Because, I mean, they're pissing in our face. I mean, it's naked, it's admitted, it's completely real, and you are kicking their ass. But it's more like a joke. You know, like, oh, the dumb libtards. Those are victims of the brainwashing. It's not funny to make fun of them. And Lord knows I've done it. I'm not judging you, but let me tell you something. When I see the video of Millie Weaver and Owen Schroyer with dozens of women physically attacking them and screaming at them like making noises that actresses trying to play possessed people couldn't do. I mean, they talked to one guy in a chicken suit who is clucking and gibbering. He could have a movie career. I mean, the guy, but it wasn't a joke. Once they took the mask off because he attacked him and the police arrested him, he didn't know where he was. And you're like, holy hell, what is this? I don't know what's going on, okay? But people that go along with this become like zombies, okay? And it's above my pay grade, folks. But I got chills today watching these videos. I mean, Harrison was there. And this guy's like, he sounded like he had one of those machines, like when you've lost your larynx, because he's in a chicken mask. And they're talking to him. They go, why are you here? And he goes, but it's like, it's beyond, it's like a robot. And then he attacks him, so the police and they pull his mask off, and he looks like he's on, I'm not saying he was, he looked like he was on PCP, man. And like none of the people there protesting against Trump or us could talk. We're like, please talk. They go, and then they go, it wasn't an act, man. And it's spreading. Mental illness is increasing. People freaking out is increasing. And it's all being engineered. And then there's all these big censors. And they're trying to make everybody as neurotic as possible. And then even the former head of Facebook comes out and says, we're trying to hurt you and enslave you and it's wrong. And their own documents admit it. And then their own users go, we don't care. And then they come out with this. I mean, because I said that they ran over people in New York. They did. It did happen. The Muslim did run over people in New York 2 weeks ago. So, look, I'm going to let Harrison get out of here. And I'm going to go back and spend time with my wife. But man, it should be so easy to beat this. I mean, hearings like we're communist China about, we were at lunch, sir, and censored InfoWars. He's watching InfoWars at lunch. They're watching InfoWars at lunch. They then say, don't worry. I don't think I'm that powerful. That's the paradox. They're so weak, and they know I'm awake. that they see me like in some dream circle or something. That's what it is. And like, I'm awake and I see them as con men, and I'm going, why is everybody going along with con men? And they're like, because this isn't the only hearing. There's dozens of these damn things with the Pentagon's up there. And we're trying to stop Jones, sir. We're trying to stop me. A guy ran over people in a freaking truck, man. Trying to stop me. Kennedy cut taxes by 50%. Tax receipts doubled. Trump can't even get 1/4 of that through. I'm not a damn genius. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. This is like Twilight Zone right now because I'm not radical. I just want America, low taxes, Second Amendment, First Amendment, freedom, a nation that promotes freedom worldwide. And then I'm the bad guy that's got to be blocked and stopped. But in their attack on us, you know where they're weak. See, that's the secret. So I'm very honored to be in this position. I just want you to understand. They brought in censorship in the last 3 hours. That is live time. As we post articles, they don't even show up in Google now, I was noticing, until 20 minutes later, and they go, bloop, and it's some, Jones says serpents live on the moon. Not true. We never said it. They're just live time, got huge teams of people. And I thought, God, are they doing? So I checked a bunch of other news sites. They're doing this live time. I don't think humans are doing this. I think they've got machine learning, like she talked about, live time. They see keywords because a lot of it doesn't make sense. And then it like churns up like weird. You read it, like it'll sound normal and it doesn't make sense. Like a person didn't write this. This is bad, man. We're fighting AI now. Or AI trying to be AI. So why don't these elites be elites and actually empower humanity instead of dumbing everybody down and doing this? So there's that video. It's all up there.
At lunch, I did, yeah, and I also saw the system correct it.
That man's a threat to this country.
They didn't call out Fox News by name. They didn't call out anyone else by name. They said, when it comes to Alex Jones, we need people to scroll and manually find him and manually have to find that video. We're not going to allow that video, if it gets 10 million views, to be on the front of the so-called news carousel.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
And I love how my own loving crew never posted this key promo video that we aired live, but somebody who didn't think they did anything good, Ming Lang Lu, they posted it with 9 views. Now it's not 9 views. Now it's going to be hundreds of thousands or millions. And that's why we need your help, folks. You never know with what you do, whether it's 10 views or 1 million views, who you're going to reach, what we're going to do. But the globalists are so obviously the bad guys. And I don't want it to get lost, the forest for the trees, where I'm showing you all this other stuff. It's that they have live time people manipulating and watching the news and then saying it's not true. That is next level. And that's for the future ban. And hell, the ban's already happening. So I appreciate you all. A lot of big videos on Infowars.com, Newswars.com. Please don't take this for granted because I want us to all to win. Please spread the videos by hand. Put them on your own channel. Start your own site. Speak out yourself. Do satire videos saying you love the New World Order and be real sarcastic. The computers won't catch that. I've been thinking about doing a whole new persona, by the way, where I'm just like every day for an hour pro-globalist, but a whole new site, whole new identity with like a total makeup on. And watch, the AI at first will like put it out as this is the... I've got a lot of stuff planned, and I'm going to let the enemy know what I got planned. We're always going to be one step ahead of them because these are just people interfacing with machines, trying to oppress us. We can interface with machines, a tool, and defeat them, but it's up to you to carry the ball. And I'm not bitching at you. I appreciate you. You've done so much already, but God almighty, this is creepy, man, to see him going this far. So Infowars.com/show, where we stream the videos and the podcasts. It's all there for you on our own platforms we pay for because we know we can't keep this forever. We know we've become too successful. But look, First Amendment, free speech, right of expression is like a flame. And it's got walls around it to protect it from the wind. And it's burning. and it gives light in the darkness. But if you don't appreciate it, and if you don't understand how valuable it is, and if you just take it for granted because you were born into it, a couple things can happen. They can slowly cut the oxygen off, and they've been doing that. See, it came back. They can slowly cut the oxygen off, or they can just pour water on it or douse it. But what they're doing is this. They hope you have no attention span. They hope you don't notice what's happening. And our once favorite Republican free speech is like smoke. It's an old conspiracy. Oh, we never had that. I saw the smoke. I saw the flame. Shut up, conspiracy theorists.
Alex Jones.
We've taken... Oh, there's old Hillary. All right, I'm going to go spend some time with my family. I appreciate you. This is your fight. You're under attack. Congress needs to act. We need hearings about free speech attacks, anti-free speech monopolies, racketeering, and we need to break these groups up. We need to understand how dangerous they are. The good news is we're winning on so many fronts that even if InfoWars doesn't make it, I know that in the end we're going to win. And a big part of me wants to, and I'm not going to do this, just phase things out, go live at the mountains somewhere and kind of see how you carry on. But I'm not going to give up because I realize they hate me too much and what we're doing gets to them too much. So I'm going to intensify my efforts. But without you praying for us and spreading the articles and the videos and buying the products at InfoWarsStore.com, we don't have a chance in hell. Just like without you, I don't have a chance in hell. It's vice versa. So Harrison, you want to make any comments? I'm going to shut this down. Let you were already out at demonstrations today, and
yeah,
you already covered a lot.
The insanity was crazy. The only thing I want to say about this is that there's a subtleness to it because they don't have to fact check every article. If it's a true article, they can just not fact check it, and then it doesn't say whether it's true or false.
And they create a database where it's all false.
Yeah, there's a subtlety that they can enact when they do this that you can't even tell where they're pulling the strings. Or we report that somebody says
Well, it's the
something.
same on your phones. They only force feed mainstream news or on Netflix or on YouTube. It's all, they admit it. They just put their crap up front. People have to go through the crap down into what's real.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's it. And now there's going to also be a symbiosis. Like, imagine if we report on something that says something bad about Google. Well, PolitiFact has an incentive to not put that forward or to claim it's false because they have an incentive to protect Google. So now Google doesn't even have to censor stuff that is maybe bad about it, that they don't want people knowing, because PolitiFact can do it for them. They don't even need to talk to PolitiFact. PolitiFact can just sort of know.
Well, just like Google hired outside groups to delist us.
Yeah.
They have somebody else do it.
Yeah, it's not, when people think conspiracy, it's like nobody at PolitiFact has like, hey, shut this down. They just can know, they can go, oh, hey guys, let's, they don't even have to say anything. There's just some
because they got a contract from Google.
Yeah, and here's the other dangerous thing, and it makes me think of like
Mo, they admit Google has given money to them. So has Facebook. Oh, they just hired like 4 groups to just become God. Well, I mean, who checks them?
Well, and even without
who checks Snopes?
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if you actually, let's do that. I wonder if you go to Snopes, who checks Snopes? Here, let's think of that, because Snopes checks us. Here, let's go to Google. All right, Snopes.
That's Snoops.
Oh!
That's Snoops.
I can't spell. Here, you type it in. I'm so exhausted. So you go there, and it's topics they write. Oh,
they don't have the tab.
Oh my God! Oh my God! See how we just human. We're thinking for 30 minutes doing this video live. Unlike CNN, unlike InfoWars, Snopes is so godlike. Snopes is so above the law that it's all Snopes. There's no one, because again, they have the tab. You saw that. They have the tab where on us, it's reviewed claims, writes about, and they review us, and it's Snopes, because reviewed claims. PolitiFact and Snopes. How big is this discovery? See, they thought they call it a conspiracy. Oh, it's a conspiracy that we're not looked at. Snopes is, again, God. That's the takeaway. What do you think of that, Harrison?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, what else can they do? They can't.
But I mean, look, who reviews Snopes? Who watches the watchers? Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, it's just going to be AI eventually, so, you know.
Yeah, and who watches over it? Well, whoever programs it.
Right.
But can you believe that? I see how we're sitting here, and I'm like, wait a minute. Snopes is the ultimate arbiter of reality. Who questions Snopes? Oh, sorry. CNN, Fox News, ABC. See what Google's setting itself up with a little pet Snopes and PolitiFact? We are the great and mighty Google, the great and mighty Oz. We decide what's real. But our little groups we pay for, no one reviews them. Oh. And that's their Achilles heel in Congress. And their Achilles heel. You didn't have a watch group over you. You set yourself up as God. And just think, all the millions of our listeners who the globalists hate, they can censor us all day off your DARPA deep web garbage, but you can't stop humanity on the street wearing InfoWars t-shirts. You can't stop them spreading the word. I went shopping with my mother-in-law and my wife today, and I couldn't walk 10 feet. Black people, Hispanics, old people, Muslims, didn't matter. They all loved InfoWars. And if they all decide to start spreading the word, that's it for you. Infowars.com/show. Snopes. Nobody checks them on Google, but everybody else does. It's the new royalty. It's the new discrimination. It's the new monopoly. And it's dead on arrival. I'll see you live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. Central with the Sunday transmission. We got big breaking news tomorrow, and that's why they're scared of us.